Hi, my name is Joanna, aka Rare Chef, and today eggnog cookies. So I'm gonna start off. I'm using this is Califia Farms oat milk eggnog. I'm using 2 1/4 tablespoons. Is 3 teaspoons per tablespoon. So 6 teaspoons and then 1/4 teaspoon. Okay. You're also going to need half of a stick of butter, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and then a 1.5 cups of flour. Or actually, we're using this is the sugar cookie rollout dough flour by Cambrook, which is a medical food company. So you do need a prescription to get this, but you can sub flour. You will need egg and milk if you do that to stick together. You can also use things like banana is a good egg replacement, aquafaba, and but applesauce. But that's the nutmeg. I'm using also the vanilla. Now this is a powdered vanilla. I don't like alcohol, and so I don't use extracts. Your butter should be refrigerated. It should be room temperature, but still cold. So not melted, or but it's still soft. So I'm going to start out by using the sugar cookie mix, and then this isn't a whole lot of eggnog, so I may need more. But the dough is supposed to be crumbly right now. We will be refrigerating it. Okay, I'm going to get some more eggnog. But we're going to go light on it. I am adding in another couple tablespoons, I'll put in 3 tablespoons. You can use water also for part of this. Wouldn't really use the instructions with the Cambrook mix say to use a 1/4 teaspoon of water. I'm using eggnog in place. You want to mix this up until it's even. Eggnog has some nutmeg in it, so I had to add in 9 tablespoons of the 9 1/4 tablespoons of the eggnog. Yeah. And it may be slightly too much. just going to use my hands to get this off. I'm the only one eating this anyway, and your hands are really the cleanest part of your body because they're washed all the time. It probably could have done with maybe a couple teaspoons less of the eggnog. So since the eggnog has the nutmeg in it, I'm just going to use vanilla and cinnamon. 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. But the sugar cookie mix is designed for a low protein diet. Hence the reason why I'm using dairy-free eggnog. Or it's called nog. There's no egg in it. So I'm adding in and I'm spooning this out because if you just stick it in, you're going to get way too much. One more should do it. Still too much. I'm going to add another 1/4 teaspoon and 1/4 cup. So we're now up to another half a teaspoon. I mean half a cup. Oh, and I just realized I forgot the butter. So that should help loosen it up a little. But we use starch in place of flour. So most commonly wheat starch, so wheat starch is not gluten-free. So if you are gluten-free, it is not gluten-free. And you may want to sub a gluten-free flour. I'm going to add in the half a stick of butter. Again, this should be cold. Should be thawed, but not, but still cold to the touch. So if you do leave it out too long, just put it back in the fridge for about 10 minutes. It should be able to be pliable. Now, tip: when you refrigerate it, if you put it in Ziploc bags, it gets easier to roll out. And we're going to use a rolling pin anyway. I'm going to try adding some more of the milk. So it might loosen it up. No, 2 1/4 cups. You may just want to add in 1/4 cup. That was a little more than bargained for. Or the mix really just thickens, it just extends the dough. So it'll actually add more to your recipe. Okay. So I now need to add more flour. More of the mix. It's actually about 2 and keeping teaspoons. This should make more cookies than I had originally planned for. Because this was just meant to be like a trial. I wasn't going to use the whole thing. Okay. Going in. I'm just going to put in some with a spoon. But I don't want to add any more flour, any more of the mix. Because I don't want to have to add more. But at least it's more playable. I have used this stuff before. I think I did Christmas cookies with it last. But I will tag that video. So it'll be attached to this one. If you do want to use a substitute sugar, I do recommend allulose because it's a 1-to-1. Any others, the ratio is different. But the only place I know of that sells allulose is Amazon. But the dough is really good. The mix isn't really mixed in yet, so we'll add a little bit, and then we'll mix it a little bit more. I have a rare condition called homocystinuria. So that's why I qualify for this stuff. If you have a different form, you don't follow the protein diet. So same boat. as someone who doesn't have this condition. And this is most common, closest to the PKU diet. In fact, a lot of these foods are the same stuff. If you're not familiar with the PKU diet, it's kind of like vegan, but you can't have seeds or nuts. Okay. So, I'm gonna wash my hands and get this in the refrigerator. Again, 30 to 60 minutes. You're going to want to transfer it to Ziploc bags. So I will be back on for the next part, which is cooking. But just rolling it out now. Since the Ziploc's not working all that great, I'm going to take it out. Which I'm going to have to do anyway. But I'm going to flour the surface in that case. Or starch it. You need to use starch anyway. So I'll probably be using the rest of the cookie mix for this part of it. So I'm going to recommend using the whole 60 minutes. I'm going to put some of this on top over a little. Don't want it too thin. And I've only used this for one other cookie. And that was a long time ago. It was like a pumpkin cookie. So but it's a little more Christmassy. But eggnog is there around Christmas. I mean, around Halloween also. Normally. But it's more of a Christmas thing. Don't want to put them too close together, because they will spread out. So I might be doing these in 2 batches. You will want to let them cool before you eat them. But the parchment paper keeps it from sticking. For those on a low protein diet, it is a little bit less protein to use, water. But oat milk has the oats strained out. So this is probably only 1 gram of protein. Cookie mix doesn't have any. These are going to cook for 10 minutes at 350. My thumbnails are normally the finished product, so I probably won't be on again. So if you like the videos, please like, subscribe, share, comment, and thanks for your time.